Media entertainment comes in many forms but can easily be split into two categories, TV and the internet. According to the measurement company Zenith, people will spend an average of 0.3 minutes more online than watching TV. In 2018, people in the US spent an average of 275 minutes watching TV and 245 minutes on the internet. But that number is rising every day, soon to pass TV. They're not the only ones who've noticed this. Advertisers will spend about 60 billion more on the internet than TV. So what's causing the speed growth of the new form of entertainment? It is the new generation of teenagers spending most of their time on websites like YouTube, Netflix, and Snapchat, and many more. Let's see why by asking a group of people.
Usually I just use social media.
Do this invoke
like Snapchat, Instagram, to just see what's going on with people's lives and just to see what's going on with the world.
I have an app on my phone, Bixby, and it tailors the news it thinks I want to see to me.
Snapchat and YouTube.
My phone or the TV. Like our local news, KCBD, and Snapchat a lot, yeah.
My phone, my laptop, and my TV. Google, the App Store, Netflix.
Most of my news comes from television stations, mostly local news. I like NBC. In the morning as I get dressed, the TV's on in my bedroom and on my den. I can hear all the news while I'm getting ready. I tend to use less social media. I don't really trust the things that are posted there. I'm not saying I trust all the news on television, but I trust it more than I trust social media.
To get my news, amazingly, I still read the Lubbock AJ. I still read the newspaper. But I do have an iPhone, so I do have the apps for the news. So I use that too, but I still like looking at my paper for thorough
I
news.
know the older generations use like newspapers and stuff, and I honestly can say that I've never like sat down and fully read a newspaper.
What? My news or the way I get it? Yes, because my kids get it from Facebook, Reddit, Snapchat, all that stuff. And
I feel like Facebook is an easier way for them to get their resources.
Probably like the newspaper or just the regular like TV channels.
They used to get newspapers a lot, or would like talk to other people about the news and the weather.
I'm sure they do. I use some. I have a Snapchat. I have a Facebook account, but I don't. The only one I tend to use, even remotely, is Facebook. I just think the media, the news stories that are posted there aren't always real. I researched a few during the last presidential election, and some of the things I read that I thought, is that true? No, it wasn't. But we tend to believe it.
The apps, their phones.
I feel like since social media has like such a strong influence in all of us, and like we feel obligated to use it, that it just completely strives us off of everything else. So I feel like we're just always on social media, and we never take the time to do other things.
because I'm old. No, I don't know. I think it's just preference. I like using this app because it tailors the news it shows me based on what I've previously clicked on and read. And so, I don't know, I think it's just preference.
I feel like newspapers are still a thing. So, I mean, I don't use them, but I'm sure they do.
I think it's different because like the younger generation is so entrapped in like phones and social media that's where we have found our way to like find our sources of entertainment, rather than the older generation where they didn't have this kind of technology, so they didn't find it. They found it a different way than how we found it.
Because our generation's moving forward and it's faster and closer to their fingertips, and they used to have a lot of time and effort to get the news. So.
Because it's convenient and your phone is always with you, and students are always using social media. They're posting their own lives, they're checking on everyone else's. I think that's part of it. Maybe they trust it more than I trust it.
I think because it's easier and it's more convenient now to use phones rather than going and purchasing a newspaper.